I think we got it. We should be getting it. Yes or no, thumbs up. Do we got sound? I think we got it. Did we get it this time? There we go. All right. It's awesome technology at times, guys. So although I do share, this is my daily work laptop. Sometimes, we disconnect it every week, and putting it in rotation can be quite troublesome for whatever reasons. Plus, it got some service done to it last night. So, okay. So to pick it back up, where everybody's giving me a thumbs up, now we're good to go. Like I said, Eddie Express is handling engineering stuff today. DJ Tissam working the cameras. We are super stoked to hang out with my dude, Tim Sletten, Fabricator. Hi, Tim. You're on camera. This is Tim's camera.
Hey.
Hanging out. We're going to talk race cars, talk fabrication, talk pretty much just shoot the shit with you guys. Hang out on a Tuesday afternoon. Hope to help pass your day as much as we enjoy just hanging out. So without getting started, hi, Tim.
How's it going?
Finally in studio. I know many of you guys have seen this gentleman on our live streams at the races, stuff like that. So he's one of the two Sletten brothers, one of the pilots, pretty much the main driver, I guess, the 1163.
Richard has the 963.
Yeah, it's 9 class. And so he's you've seen him on, like I said, we've seen him on the live streams and messing around, the shenanigans, and the probably some plumber's crack from time to time. But we're just I think it was important to kind of bring you in and talk about some of the stuff that we're doing and give some other people it's inspiration, whether it's just kind of that extra nudge and push to start something, right, to build, and that's really what I wanted to get into the show. Wink, and thanks for checking in. Eric, thanks for checking in. But I think it's important. Michelle, hello, how are you? I think it's just important for us to kind of just sit down and hang out, because we watch, and I'm going to use Wink because he's checked in here on the show, and it's like, a guy like Wink who's drag race guy. He's got a cool little off-road car, but you see what he does, and you see some of the things he's doing in the garage, and everybody wants a little push, right? And some of the stuff that you're doing is a lot more detailed in some of the builds, and we'll get into some of those builds.
Yeah, and I was going to say, everybody knows EMPI. They seen you brought us on, and then now I can give you a little backstory of where I'm from and what I do, and we get all this stuff done.
And Aquafina is not our sponsor today. So I got to have some fun with him today. I set it up already. I was going to give him some shit today. So I hope you guys don't mind this. So yeah, man, I mean, tell us a little bit about the backstory and get things going. Paint the picture for us.
Wow. It's a long one.
We'll start with kind of the off-road, the spark that really got into the Fabricator and stuff like that. So
obviously my brothers and I got brought into the sport.
There you go.
Fix that.
There we go.
Got brought into the sport by my dad. He's always been a class 11 guy, so he got us into it, taught us the ropes. Obviously 28 now, 10 years, 15 years into it. I've kind of been able to take what I've learned and try to do something myself with it, So hence, the Sletten Engineering. Now I get to take my vision and kind of do what I want with it.
Yeah, put your spin and kind of update technology, embrace some of that stuff. And for those of you guys who don't know, I mean, you're only 28 years old. Yeah. So for somebody to kind of start their own business and start off fabricating and building stuff on your own, I mean, again, you're still really young.
Yeah. So, sorry, train of thought. First time on camera, a little nervous.
Squirrel.
No, I was going to say, being so young, I'm kind of at the beginning of all this. And thankfully, as of now, I get to hang out with a lot of guys who have been in the sport, been around Volkswagens a really long time. I get to listen to them, take what they have to say in, and then, do what I can with it. I still have a long way to go, but I feel like I'm off to a good start.
No, I think you said it exactly. I mean, you're off to the great start. One of the things that's extremely beneficial that I've noticed from working alongside of you, just in the short term, is just the willingness and the open-mindedness to try something new. Or something like, hey, we tried this, it didn't work, and now we're going to vary from that. So, I mean, it's just really proof in the pudding of the cars that you've put your hands on, that you guys have started building, whether it be the high line, I guess you could say, of a guy like Blake Wilkie, who you had a lot of influence on building that car, to show that car is winning, it's finishing, yes, don't take anything from the driver. He's a badass driver, but the car itself has got to sustain. I mean, many people don't understand how much we're beating the shit out of these things.
Yeah, and he definitely wells on that thing. I thought it would have broke by now for sure.
Yeah, I think we all had over under bets on that one. So, but I mean, it's a testament to the craftsmanship and the fabrication skills of what you guys have learned over the years.
Yeah.
And then shout out for EMPI and the product. I mean, it's holding up. So, but then getting into now with the Sletten Engineering, you'll see kind of on the side of the car and some of the stickers that we were supporting our internal group and whatnot. You're kind of branching out on your own and really taking your own twist of things and building from it.
Yeah. And really two things have really taken off for me on that end is one, the engine building, which I have to give a huge thanks to Manfred Hove of MPH Motorsports. He's my mentor in this whole deal. He took me under his wing, taught me everything there is to know about a Volkswagen engine. I obviously still have a lot to learn, but he has really brought me up to the level where I'm at. And then along with that is the custom build side of things, like the Tesla powered Baja bug.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. So we got to save those for a little bit, man, because the E5 car, I call it the badass Baja bug. That's it's just, this thing's a Tesla powered, and we're not going to spoil it. You got to wait for that a little bit. So,
but to add to that, at this point, I'm doing anything Volkswagen related per se. Whether it's your stock daily driver that needs a tune up or to a full blown build, it doesn't matter. I do it all.
Well, is there an aspect of it that you enjoy more than the others?
Fabrication by far.
Yeah. I was going to guess that.
Well, there's something inside of fabricators, I think, where you can just envision something and then create it. It's easier for some people, like guys like me. I kind of have to work for it a little more than some, but deep down inside, I love every minute of it.
Well, it's been a fun journey just hanging out with you and getting to know you over the last little bit. And it's still new for all of us, right? I mean, the EMPI racing team is still at its infancy stages. Yeah. I mean, we've only been at this essentially 3/4 of a season, which started off as let's just have some fun and build a car for a couple of races to chase a championship this year and hopefully bring one home. So it's pretty bitching.
Yeah. And then next year's looking pretty stacked now too.
Yeah. Next year. Right. We were doing our calendars. So Eddie was sitting here with us and we're starting to do our budgets for, 2021 and as well as the event calendars. And what do you think, Eddie? How do you think we're going to come across on some of that stuff? I mean, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, we're pretty busy, man. So good luck, guys. That's all I got to say.
What's wrong with the race every 2 weeks?
Yeah. I mean, let's just think we're going to have some spare trannies to rotate that stuff and stuff in and out of the cars as quick as we can, because there is some every other weekend kind of deals for a stretch there, so it'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everybody's seen by now Lucas Oil. I'm not sure of the full details, but that's kind of up in the air now.
Yeah, it's gonna happen basically. And so those of you guys chiming in, it's such in its infancy stages. It's basically like a sponsorship change from what I'm gathering and what I'm being told. So the transfer from Lucas to another major is what the plan is.
Gotcha.
Right. And so we're still planning on a short course series. From what we're told, the already participants and sponsors and partners already are on it. I mean, even where the equipment is stored is still at somebody's place. So it's going to happen. There's going to be something that's going to come out of it. So we're planning for it. I'm planning for it. It's on the series and it's budgeted. So
good to know.
Chris Hill, great point, man. Fabricators are Imagineers, not engineers. So it's pretty neat. Yeah. I mean, just some of the ways that when you do things enough times, right?
Yeah.
You get into like, it's just an easy, it's just this and this. Yeah. It doesn't need some. Having my welding helmet will travel.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what we got some of the guys checking in. Lucas hand timing. Tim is the man. Thanks for coming out to the car show. So yes. I might as well plug. So you guys watched the show last week. We did plug Lucas's car show down there. Tell us a little about how that went down.
Yes, I went to the first annual, I don't want to screw this up, Volks Jam by the Parker Dam. Lucas Hand and Rick Johnson put that on. 108 cars showed up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a ton of buses, early and late models. Obviously, same thing with bugs, squarebacks. I did see a notchback, one of them. Yes. Obviously, being around Parker, there were some off-road cars there as well. We actually took home a trophy. Not exactly what shirt for, but we did take one home. But it was
unbiased.
Yeah, I did get told it was unbiased, but it was a fun time to see a first annual bug show get that many cars shows up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think everybody's really itching to just go to events and hang out and do stuff. I mean, I can speak firsthand, and like any chance I get to go to a local car cruise night or go to a race or do something, like I'm fiending. Like I need my fix, man. It's brutal, and I think most people across the country are feeling the same. And you guys can chime in if you want, but I think it's important to get out there, and I think it's important that you communicate with people and you interact with one another as a human level and see faces, and some faces you want to see, some faces you don't want to see, but just see some faces and say hi to your fellow human just to get out of the friggin' house, man.
And it's even different for a guy like me. I'm so used to race that I have hardly ever gone to car shows. So it's like to go to that one, as much as I am around Volkswagen based cars, I don't ever get around stuff like that. So it was even way cool for me to go experience that for the first time in 4 or 5 years, Yeah,
you get to hang out, prop a lawn chair, and age.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you go to the car show, right, you get a little bit older. But Byron, thanks for chiming in. This is kind of cool to see all the show keep growing and every single week, man. I dig this stuff. Sometimes I kind of catch myself, Eddie. I mean, we kind of just look at it in the progression of it all, and I hope you guys don't mind my enthusiasm and my kidding, like my kiddish kind of playfulness, because it is fun for me, and I do enjoy watching it. And it just catches me even mid sentence with you just kind of jumping around, and it's pretty cool to see. And it's cool to see the embrace of a lot of the stuff. I mean, Wink brought up a great point. He says that the guys, these guys are the whole reason why I built the Class 11 car. Seeing them help Wilkie. And I was like, I need one of those in my life. Thanks for the inspiration. I mean, that's really why I wanted you to have you on the show. And I think it's important to kind of share a lot of that. For me, one of the main reasons, for the show is the inspirations and the fellow human aspect of the hobby, right? But to do it in different sectors or different facets, but to bring a guy like you in and to inspire guys like Wink or many others that may not even have the guts to say that it was an inspiration or anything else, but it's important to show like, hey, you got a 20-something-old kid, right, that can actually read a tape measure, not cut his fingers off. That's you've smashed him plenty of times, but you're willing to take the risk and you're willing to learn, man.
And you know what? I think that's half of what drives me to do what I do. Sorry,
you're good.
Those are good. That's half of what keeps me doing what I do is the reaction from people. I love to see other people happy in the environment, whether it's letting them borrow a part, whether it's giving them some of my knowledge, any of that stuff. Like, that's what makes me happy in this whole deal, is to see people like that.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Carl Davis brought up a great point too. Thanks for letting kids sit inside your ride and making the broom broom noises is the best trophies. I mean, that's really what I almost feel like it's our duty, right? And I don't mean that in a derogatory way or any negative meaning. It's we, you, me, Eddie on Mopar side of things, and don't hold it much against some guys, but just in general, right? I think it's so important to refill that enthusiast, get people to start falling in love with cars again. Cars have become so brainless in a lot of realms. Like, okay, I put gas in it. Yeah. Sorry, it's a petrol, or plug it in at night, and I take it to the shop, and I have the tires rotated, and I do the oil change. But like, you can still change your own oil. Like some type of get a little fingernail grit under your thing. There's certain pride that I think is said with being able to do and work on some of your own stuff. And I think it's important that we refill that. And much like you probably got the itch when you were younger, as a kid growing up, just being around it and the smell of it and the thunder, hopefully it inspires you for your boys.
Yeah. It's part addiction as well. Once you do it once, you're hooked. That's it.
It really is a different vibe, man. And many of you guys know that I'm more of a drag race guy, upbringing, but to come play in your world, dude, has been a learning curve, to say the least.
Yeah, two totally different driving styles. We see it all the time. Guys that are successful in other forms of driving. They show up to an off-road race and it's total mayhem.
I call it humbling.
Yes. Car destroyed, stuff blown up, broken, bent, you name it, but that's what off-road racing is. It's taking a car that one is limited in travel in half of the classes and making it, whether it's 50 miles or 500 miles through the desert with one without breaking it and making it to the finish. That the whole process,
Yeah. It's definitely a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to racing, then what's been your favorite race?
I would have to say to this point, finishing Vegas to Reno with the Warrior Built guys, I think is at the top of my list right now.
That's pretty awesome event.
I mean, 20 hours, and a shout out to those guys. They entrusted our prep and our engine program, and other than our one front beam debacle, which I think was our own fault, no issues with the car, and we made it to the finish in time. And that making it 500 miles through the desert is not the easiest feat. So to take home that finish is one to remember.
And big shout out to you guys and those Warrior Boys. We tried to work it out to get them on the show, just scheduling conflicts, but we will get them in studio. I encourage you guys to look them up on social media. Warrior Built on Instagram.
Yeah, Warrior Built Foundation.
Yeah, they have a great cause. It's a 501c3 charity. I mean, they do some really, really cool stuff, and I think it's important to get them supported. So
yeah, and then obviously the next itch is to get down to a Baja race. We'll see how next year pans out. But
yeah, fingers crossed. Knock on wood, we're able to pull that off with the intentions we have with our partners that we're reaching out to and working with. But I mean,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, who the hell knows in today's scenarios and whatnot. But I think watching I guess it's like, I don't know if I'd call it relieve to a point, but cresting the hill and watching you guys crest the hill and kind of the sigh of relief at Vegas Trina was pretty powerful, man, to like just meet the cutoff times and like you fight. Like, I encourage any of you guys that are watching and listening to tag along. I mean, just, hey, you go chase a race one time.
I'm trying to think. So to give these guys a little insight. So the shock tower broke. What was it? Mile marker 270?
170. I'm pretty sure it was around 170. Pit 7 or in that neighborhood.
No, it was in the twos for sure. It was 270. Right. It was halfway through the race. And I end up getting in the passenger seat with a guy named John who was driving, and we're like 3 miles out of the pit, and I hear this clunking, and I had thought it was the steering box. And so I'm like, all right, I get out of the car, I check the steering box, seems fine. Get back in the car, go like another mile, and it's just getting louder and louder and louder. And I'm like, all right, we have bigger problems. I get out, I notice the passenger side shock tower's blown off, and we're already, almost 4 miles out of the pit.
Yeah, blown off. OFF off. And by this time it's freaking 11 o'clock at night.
So I end up, seeing that it's broke off, and I'm like, there's no turning around in this. We have to keep on moving forward. At this point, we're close to the cutoff, but not too bad. So I end up taking the shock off, telling John to get in the passenger seat and hand him the shock and tell him to hold on. And I end up having to drive another 70 miles with no front shock on the car. And getting into the pit, and the point of this story, we're halfway through the race. It's midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And the only thought you have going through your head is, should I give up now or keep going? Give up now, keep going, But I'm just the type of guy that I'm going to keep on going no matter what. The car has to be undrivable for me to stop. But when you go through those moments, 9-10 hours later, when we finally go through the finish line, that's what makes it worth every headache, busted knuckle, you name it. That feeling is what it's all about.
Yeah. I mean, Lucas Hahn, I think, just said it best. So a best way to describe a chase race is a 24-hour plane crash. I mean, it's and not in a, literal sense or any of that stuff, but just you're thrashing on everything. It was my first time chasing with you guys as kind of a team, and a little bit of a learning curve on some of that stuff with the group. But
Yeah.
And overall, the sense of accomplishment, even just chasing the vehicle, that you're able to get a 50-something-year-old car to go 500 miles through the roughest terrain possible.
And you owe credit to the guys in the chase trucks, no matter what they're doing, whether it's fuel guy, radio guy. It takes a team to do it as well. The drivers don't, of course, they get the pictures and the name, but still, it takes a whole army. It takes a whole army of people. So you got to thank everybody involved, or else you wouldn't be where you were.
Yeah, and that's a valid, complete point. Is you cannot do this without them, because you're essentially bunny hopping. And it took 2 chase trucks for us essentially to do that race, where one's already holding a spot and another one's already jumping ahead. The strategic things that you guys don't think about, or a lot of people forget, is, whether it's fuel, a tire, it's all, everything has to work to win a desert race.
Yeah.
There's no
100%.
And you get a little luck dashed in there too, is always a bonus.
Yeah. And I mean, even in our class, 11 right now, I think we're at a point where we have the most competitive drivers that the class has had in a really long time. So it's really forcing people to step up their driving game for sure.
What's been like the funnest vehicle you've either been in, rode in, drove, whatever?
Funnest? No, man, you're making me think.
I mean, there's got to be something, I mean,
I like funnest isn't even like high horsepower crazy.
No.
I would say funnest for me is, I remember a few winters ago, my dad and I were hanging out at the sea, and there's this, you've seen it, that old teal 4-seater. You ever see it sitting back in the corner? It had just rained and poured, and he wanted to take the Jeep. And of course, what did I want to take? I wanted to take the rail. So here we are at freaking 9-10 o'clock at night, bombing through 3-foot mud holes, and it's like, we ended up going like 15 miles to get to this dude's house. But like, those are the funnest times for me, just getting in. Doesn't have to be high horsepower, high travel, any of that. Just going out and having a good time and having a good story to tell at the end of it.
That's half the fun. Lucas chiming in saying Caliente. Yeah, Caliente was memorable, to say the least.
I wasn't even there. I was in the hospital.
Yeah,
waiting for a baby to be born.
I have a great reminder.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I won't forget the call. My finger, it's falling off.
I mean, that's the stuff that is supposed to remember us by.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever almost cut off a limb in a race though.
Yeah. That one was close. And
I will.
No thanks to my co-pilot for almost passing out and throwing up, but it's all right. We'll let him slide, Cameron Frey.
I do remember one time when I wadded up the 516. At this point, we weren't wearing next gens, and half the people weren't even wearing donuts around their neck. But I ended up barrel rolling the car, 4th gear pinned, and it just went up on the roof like that. And when we dug, I had a mark on my helmet where when the front windshield caved in, my head hit the tubing right above the windshield. That's an eye opener right there.
Has there been like moments like that where you just kind of, or even crash, or just kind of a moment where like, oh shit, like maybe I should just go back to the garage and fab a little bit and not drive anymore?
That was the one that, I was that 2009? So 11 years ago.
Short-term memory loss already.
Yeah,
on this thing.
it's happening. So I was 16 years old when that happened. And at that point, that's when I kind of stepped out of the driver's seat. And I was actually scared to drive again after that, just so worried of wadding a car up. And at the same time, it's been very beneficial to my driving. I've got to sit in the passenger seat with a lot of great drivers from then on, and actually learn other people's driving styles and how they manipulate the car to get it to do what they want and all sorts of other stuff. So now I get to take all that stuff I've learned, and now that I'm driving more, I'm incorporating that into my own driving style.
What would you say is, a couple of good points for a new driver really getting into it, whether even it's just at any level, whether it's go-karts or anything else? What do you think would be your 3 kind of?
Something that Corey won't do? Ride with somebody who's done it for a long time.
It's like that. All right. Walk down in front of me down the stairs.
Oh god, it's gonna be a bad night. No, yeah, I would.
Car rider won't be a rider.
Yeah,
No,
Come on,
dude,
man.
I don't
Come on,
do,
man.
I don't do, you know, I told him it'd be there's only a couple of guys I'll ride with. And it's just a comfort level, man. You know, and you know, my size and stature have a lot to do with jumping in a car with somebody and then they're used to the car with their 150-pound co-pilot. And then Big Daddy gets in the car and the car is going to act and respond completely different. These are the things that I think about because I mean, I understand how it is on a drag strip, but I know how a car responds different.
yeah,
But going into a completely off-roaded car or a car set up for off-road, I have that internal quirk that just, let me show you the capabilities of this car. That's the famous last words.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to,
yeah,
oh shit, I didn't think about you were this big. You know, I just don't want to experience that.
Yeah.
You know, it's slowing my learning curve down. But at the same time, I'm cool with that. You know, like I these things, I'm not a small dude, and getting out of them, especially when they're upside down or on their side, sucks.
yeah.
And I don't want to experience that
Yeah.
anymore. I just don't like it.
And there's a lot of guys out there like that absolutely will not ride with somebody else. So you're not the only one.
I have a hard time just in regular car riding passenger, let alone trying to, to do something with a car that was never meant to do it. I have a hard time. That's just it. That's my own quirk.
Yeah.
Lucas, let me put it this way. If Lucas Hand and he's sending me, Lucas, Corey, ride with me. I'm like, look it. I know how big you are, dog. And I know how big I am. I'll be shifting. You'll be steering. Okay. Cause it's just, we're going to be rubbing too many elbows. Dude, he's just not a small dude. And I know I'm not either. So especially in a fireman suit. So,
oh man,
golly. The cool part about it is the car will go a lot slower.
Banging elbows is definitely part of a class 11, no matter what size you are.
Yeah. Luckily for Cam.
Yeah. poor little arm is frail and bruised after a race.
No, but that's just one of my quirks. But honestly, if besides riding with somebody,
advice, start hanging out with other teams. It's like go and what I would call networking. You can never have too many friends. Spend a lot of time talking to other people, taking their input. You don't always have to have the right answer or have a response to something. Just go around and listen to what people have to say, and then you digest that and make a decision from there. So it's just that's part of what I do per se, but I think that has helped me in a lot of ways. Yeah, moving forward.
Very cool. I dig all these comments, guys. Keep them coming. It fuels the fire. Jennifer Morton chiming in. Caliente was a blast. Love the stories, guys.
You guys are making me jealous right now. I wasn't able to make it.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, it was a hell of an experience. I think the overall layout was really neat, just because you kind of start at that desert vibe floor and you climb all the way through the pines and trees. It was just bitching till about mile marker 53, and I don't remember anything else after that. But no, it's just cool, man. I dig picking your brain. I dig trying to figure out a lot of different things that we can do and kind of push the envelopes, right? Different perspectives. How can we make horsepower this way? Or what about doing this? And
it's crazy to think about is, so as old as Volkswagens are, and then you even take a look at class 11, we're at it's already been happening for a couple of years now, but almost a pivotal point where we're not building full-blown desert cars anymore. We're trying to build lighter weight, short course car, lightweight stuff, So although these cars have been around forever, we're building something totally different, something fresh. So
different perspectives,
right?
Fun. Sean, I don't even know, Malaban, and he's like EMPI 516 shootout. Is there like a little, watching since I heard off camera or what? Because it's on the radar, Sean. It's something we want to do. Obviously, you can see we kind of partnered with, we kind of brought the Negrete family in for bringing them under the EMPI Racing Team umbrella as a kind of a test and get things rolling. But hopefully, we'll have a 516 car on the team.
So, what does it look like? They're going to be pitting with us at Rage, obviously,
and someone else.
Are we allowed to release that?
I guess. I mean,
are we thinking of the same guy?
I think we are. a lot of, like I said, a lot of interesting things moving on. And I hope you guys don't like the chatter and banter and whatever else. But you know, we want to grow the sport, right? We want to grow the team. We want to grow a lot of things, and we want to, you know, test product on other platforms, on other cars. And we're just going to continue to do that. So with the 516 stuff, like bringing in the Grete family, but then bringing in a Highline guy.
Yeah.
Like
maybe we'll keep it a secret.
Maybe we'll see what happens. But we're working on a lot of different angles. So, all right. Lucas asks, who is going to not lift at Laughlin at the Land Rush start, and and I'm on my own thing. If we're anticipating 35 to 50 cars on a Land Rush start, somebody's gonna be out in the sticks, and it's gonna be brutal. Who's gonna be in the front?
It's hard to say.
Look at that. Talk about on the spot there.
There's a couple cheater lines out there. But now everybody's already seen them in those videos. You got the guys diving way left in the hard pack stuff, but it's hard for them to get back over into the main line, because if you stay left, you're in the crappiest part of that first beginning stages of the moon.
And that's where that rut kind of goes up in that little plateau.
Yeah.
I watched it.
So stay away from far left. It looks good in the video, but I don't think it's the best choice.
Lucas said ride with him. It's not going to happen, dog.
I want to see it.
No. I think I'd rather, we'll talk about, we're going to go testing this week. So, we're going to get out the team's going to go testing, get Wilkie out, as long as he makes it back from Florida in one piece.
What we were looking at an hour ago, he had a tire on fire in Louisiana. I don't know what he was thinking.
But yeah, it should be a blast. Overthink things just like me. I picture the end result before I try something. Wink, that's definitely, the one thing I'll tell you guys about Tim is he does think about, and he's quiet. And so for him to even be on the camera, and he's kind of like Ricky Bobby, not sure what to do with his hands right now, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it in. It was that raw, that edgy, that different, not polished speaker that we have, or it's just that dude that's like an enthusiast that works in cars in his garage, that, you can have a Vulcan welder. Yeah. You can have a DeWalt chop saw or some kind of, whatever, and a little bit of imagination, and you can build a Class 11.
Yeah.
Or doesn't have to be a race car. I mean, you can build your little dune buggy thought, or rail buggy. You can do whatever. That's kind of why I wanted really to have you on the show, is just to really inspire people to get out, do something, right? The exercise program can be just carrying the material to and from your truck into the garage and putting something together.
I was gonna say, even, a guy as young as I am, I'm still kind of in those stages, like he had brought up, right? Like you talk about welders, everybody thinks, you have to have a Miller, you have to have a Lincoln. We're out there burning away with a Vulcan right now. And
shout out to Vulcan.
Burns just as fine as the other two. I mean, we're waiting on that Miller plug, but we're using what we have to, right?
But it just shows, like, you don't have to have the best of the best. You don't have to have, whatever. You just need a little bit of inspiration and willingness to try. And you know what? You tack it in place. Does it work? Does it match? Right? Is it where you want it? And at the end of the day, it's just like, I want to say baking a cake, because you can cut the edge of it off, square it up a little bit, and put it back in place. And just it's a trial and error thing, and it's a way to hone your craft, right?
I think I was telling Byron the other night. I said, most guys see it as, you're a welder, you're a welder, you're a welder, and I'm like, that is the most minimal part of this whole process. Look what it takes to cut the pan halves off and clean it up and get it ready just to tack weld these pan halves in. Look at the process of the adjuster, measuring here, measuring there, cutting here, cutting there, and making sure everything is lined up correctly just to weld around 2-3 inch pieces of pipe. The welding's really the easy part.
Yeah. I mean, that's some of the stuff that we really hope you guys enjoy, those little snippets and that we share in the Instagram lives and stuff and Facebook lives that we do while we're working. Like tonight, we're going to be working in the shop tonight. We've got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. So let the anxiety kick in. But, those are the stuff that we enjoy showing. Not just that. And again, none of it is ever to show off like, hey, this is what we're doing. It's more about to show you, think this is what you can do in your own garage. With, we're using Milwaukee off the shelf tools, and, most of them everything we're using is, battery powered.
Yeah.
So you can cut your pan up and grind it off and do this and do that. And it was all, off the shelf stuff. So
I was actually thoroughly impressed with that Milwaukee hand sawzall. It's like half the size of a full size one. I was actually cut through the torsion housing with it. I was like, wow.
This thing's badass.
Yeah.
I think it allows us to come down to just a good blade.
Too.
The Diablo blades are good.
Yeah, you do have to buy good sawzall blades. That's a must.
Cameron Foray checking in. Gotcha. We're good to see you. Sean says EMPI 5 open for the big dogs. It's been discussed. We'll just say that. I mean, we'll say that we've discussed it. We've talked about it. Don't be surprised if you see a EMPI Factory 5 Unlimited with Type 4 power.
Yeah.
Right?
Have to keep it air cooled.
Yeah, it's got to stay true to its roots. Kaylee's timing in, which is now's your chance, Kaylee. We can put them on blast. I'd love to go drive and learn. You down, Lucas? So trying to plug whatever she can get in something. She's dying.
I think I heard her feelings the other night. She wanted to drive the 9 car, and I'm like, we got to win, and it came out the wrong way. Yeah, she wasn't too happy with that. But she actually has done 3-4 powder puffs now. I think
very
she's
cool.
Got a first, second, 2 seconds in the 11, second in the 9 car. So she's got some seat time behind her.
Badass. She's cool. She gets after it. Plug for Vile right for you.
Yes.
If you guys need some stickers and graphics lined up, hit up Kaylee.
Yeah, Vile Design.
Larry Negrete Sr. checking in.
Oh.
Very cool on YouTube. Thanks for checking in. So you guys like Darren Adams, much respect. I mean, it's just that's what we really want to show is things that can inspire guys building. And you can apply a lot of the stuff that we're doing, especially on the rear of the car, to a street car, to whatever. Just how we're gusseting things up, tightening stuff up, pan half replacements. We documented that, so that'd be cool to share with you guys. What are some of the things that you'd like to kind of instill or share with the audience of stuff that you'd like to drive home?
God.
Where do we begin?
I was gonna say, and we've already went over so much stuff. I mean,
it goes quick, man. Just time frame goes quick. Building and building and building.
I don't know. I'm just happy, to finally come and explain some of the things that I do. I'm typically, not mad about it, but the guy down there, working away, figuring all these things out, and I get to see Corey interviewing all these cool, famous guys, so it's cool to get up here and kind of share my side of the story, and I guess if I were to say anything else, it's possible for anybody out there. You put your mindset to it and you can make it happen. 5 years ago, I never even dreamed of doing any of this. Now it's my full-time job as a prep guy, fabricator, engine builder, all this stuff. It's just, you put your mind to it, you put the dedication where it needs to go, and it'll come to you. Don't get me wrong. I've had my rough patches, and I still have my rough patches, but it's all worth it. The dedication's there.
And that's it, man. I mean, you do, when the chips are down and you need to finish something, I will give you props on that. Is you'll get it done, and you'll burn the midnight oil to make it happen. So yeah, for a lot of people didn't know, you made the full transition from gate fabricator, to full-time.
Yeah.
That's how you're feeding your family.
And that's kind of how it happened. I was doing all this side work after hours, and I knew I was getting to a point where I was going to have to jump off the cliff or not, and I just knew deep down inside, if I never did it, I would regret it for the rest of my life. And I wasn't okay with that. And now, what are we, 6-7 months later, I'm still chugging along, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah. Proud of you, man. You've done a damn good job. And I know it's not been an easy road and a lot of bullshit along the way. So kudos to you for staying strong and steadfast on a lot of that. So
yes, thank you.
If there's things that you guys want to see, like as the listeners, let us know. I mean, I do, like last week, we had some DMs about some of the things we were doing, and we wanted to make sure we shared it with you guys. So if you guys want to see certain things, like tonight, we're going to be putting another adjuster in the 11 car, the other 11 car we're building.
Ooh, might be bending up some tubing too.
Yeah, and tonight we're supposed to bend some tubes, putting some floor bars down, and you know, we got to get these bodies off the sandblast to get them ready, make a couple patches, and let Cameron Foray do his.
Cameron, please put some subliminal messages on Corey's.
Why in the sun does it do this? But no, just we got to get them done, and you know, hopefully we'll have Cameron be able to you know, get them things squirted and make them look pretty.
Yeah.
What's been here's one that comes through. Three favorite tools in the shop, or three like just necessity gotta haves, and besides a big ass hammer.
Yeah. Oh, the belt sander by far has became my favorite tool. I will tell you, Manfred had been talking about it for a couple months, and we finally went down and got one. And I literally use that thing every day. You look at it and you wonder, well, what's the point of this thing? Well, then next thing you know, you need to make a tab, and instead of sitting there with a grinder, you sit there, boom, right there on the belt sander and make it happen.
For those of you who don't know, and he's probably mentioned the friggin' belt sander like every night here. We have one. It's just not the one that he's accustomed to.
It's got to have,
and it's about 150 feet on another side of the shop.
Yes.
So we try to self-quarantine ourselves in our own little workshop. So besides your 18 horsepower, chew your fingernail off belt sander, what else would you say? I've
really taken a liking to the aluminum work or the intricate stuff. So there's like a 3-in-1 brake, shear, and roller. I love that tool as well. I mean, you need to make any little custom tab that's, you know, somewhat intricate, boom, bust it out on that one tool. I love that thing.
Okay. Now what's the third and final tool?
Ooh.
Besides your vape pen?
I mean, I don't have to say welder, do I? Right? It doesn't have to be basic.
No. I mean, I think that's a given. We know that the welder, but you know, do you feel like the money well spent about a good welding hood? That's another question that's been asked in here. Is you know, can you use an off the shelf inexpensive welding hood, or do you have to buy the $300 special?
As long as it's auto darken, you'll be in good shape. Doesn't matter who makes it. Obviously, you buy a cheaper one, it is only going to live so long. I right now use a Miller. I don't have the part number on it, but I think I'm going on 6 years with that helmet right now. And I've had to replace the batteries maybe 3 times, and that's it.
Wow.
So money well spent on that one. Also, same deal with, you know, say you got to go to Harbor Freight. Their auto darken helmets work just as fine. Don't know how long they're going to live, though.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Vulcan. You gotta understand that we have some fun with it, and I hope you guys don't mind the candidness to a lot of this stuff, because it's, you know, it just, when a lot of people do the television or the YouTube shops and everything else, everything's the best of the best of the best, sir. And you know, we wanted to prove some of that stuff, that it doesn't always have to be the best tools and equipment that money can buy. That you do your own due diligence, do some research. You can find a very good off-beaten path, like for a welder, like we chose the Vulcan for several reasons.
Yeah, and any guy in their garage that has to, you know, just wants to get into the sport, get into anything that has to do with welding or anything like that, is probably not going to go and spend $2,500 on a brand new Lincoln or Miller. No. So you have to start somewhere, no matter what.
Yeah, and you can get started for about $1,000, $1,200 total with the tank and everything else. But very, very Vulcan. Oh, it's too much. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it feels like a Friday a little bit, man. Just because we get to go work on some race cars. Couple of shout outs though that I do want to touch on a personal level. I want to give a shout out to my boy Ricky, my little brother, and Tyler, who Total Mayhem Racing. Hopefully they'll make it down in time. I doubt it on camera.
They're probably freezing right now in Colorado.
They're coming through. They're coming through Nevada now. These dudes, with a wish and a prayer and a dream, literally took what we're doing here and did it to the next level, essentially. And they have built a full-blown, legitimate trophy truck in their garage. Started with a pile of tubes, and Ricky built this cage from scratch.
Yeah, I've been watching it from the beginning, even before this partnership even happened. I remember being friends with them on Facebook and seeing the start of all that.
Yeah, And now the first fire up last night happened all the way up in Eastern Washington after a little bit of, shenanigans.
Yeah, I think I watched the first Facebook Live. It was like 12 minutes of cranking.
Damn it. Put some more oil in.
Yeah.
But I mean, a big shout out to you guys, Ricky and Taylor.
Yeah, it's a major accomplishment.
It's to build a legitimate trophy truck in your garage. And now where I was trying to go with that is, they finished it. They fired it last night. They loaded everything up in the truck and trailer. They left Eastern Washington, Idaho border at 1 a.m. this morning, and they're on their way down to go race the Baja 1000 and kind of live a dream. And I'm super proud of you, Ricky. I can't tell you how much I've watched you grow as an 11-year-old kid to the man you're growing into now, dude. I'm super proud of you. And it's pretty awesome to see you take it to the next level, brother. I'm stoked, and I can't wait to see it tonight. So shout out to those guys, because you're living a dream that many people would aspire to do. But it goes the same thing as just, if you're going to do it, you're going to go into it. That's what you're into, man. But do it to the best you possibly can and take it to the next level every single time. So super stoked on that, man. And for all the guys that are heading down to Baja, be safe, be careful, and enjoy what's in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're super jealous and wish we could be there.
Yeah, that's a memory of a lifetime right there.
Definitely. So I just had to, before I forgot, I wanted to make sure that I got that off my chest and kind of down, because that was something that for me, I kind of had that moment, dude. I ain't gonna lie, I might have been cutting an onion or something in the kitchen last night, and eyes got a little watery, but it's just the progression, from a kid who didn't do well in school and came from a really shitty background, to be, to be fostered, to be my kid. Like, I raised him like he was mine, and to watch him progress. And you're going to need math. Like, I don't give a shit about history, like, whatever, but you're going to need math in your life, man. And that's what he really excelled at. And to watch him grow into a badass little fabricator, a little twerp. I'm super proud of him, and to make it happen. So
yeah, there's certain things in your life that you just don't forget, and that's going to be one of those for him for sure.
Oh, dude, and it was awesome, because I was just on the couch watching it, dude, and to see that and to see the enthusiasm and to watch him, like when it fired up, you could see the face, and like I know that face, and that was pretty awesome to see. So I'm again proud of him, super proud of him. Dude, we're almost an hour in already. This is nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll let Eddie. I think Eddie, we have something we've had in the studio for a while, and we haven't had a chance to mess with these yet. But I think we're gonna let him do 3. So these are called pod decks. We bought these. They're fun. They're for podcasters, but they're random deck questions.
Oh boy.
And there's a bunch of different stuff, like a never have I ever kind of deals, and almost.
Oh boy.
So you're gonna be my guinea pig today, and we can do. There's like an episode deck, which obviously we're not going to do that one. We have an interview deck. We have a what the heck, and then we have an interview deck volume 2.
We're going with that one.
The black ones.
Black one.
This guy's already read the questions, guaranteed.
No. These literally we've only opened
haven't even
one.
opened them
We
yet.
have opened one deck just to thumb through, and yeah, dude, you get to be the guinea pig. I didn't bring out the Christmas tree, so just be thankful on that. And another thing you guys haven't, I don't know if you did see this, maybe you did. It was kind of subliminal, but I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of something just to drive everybody nuts and to piss our sales team off, because they're gonna start calling about this thing in the morning. Did anybody see this in the background? Oh man, what's that? I don't know. I'm just having some fun.
Looks like the 11 car's new shifter to me.
It looks like a knee banger. That thing. But so yeah, man, you know what? It's really cool to see everybody kind of chiming in. Shit, Baja 1000 gave me chills, oh boy. Carl Davis, thanks for chipping in again. Man, Air Cooled Garage, Sean, you got some more shouting out for Ricky. Appreciate it. Dude, Carl, what a simple one, but a well forgotten one. We talked about it just before we got on the show. Carl said a notebook and a pencil is a cool, important tool.
Yes.
So sometimes these try to put them on their phones and it doesn't always work out.
Well, this guy doesn't see me writing it a lot, but I actually have this binder with a notebook and my pen in there. And I probably got 30 pages filled up in that thing already. Just anything random, really. Like you said, pencil and notepad. You never know when you're going to write something down or remember and stuff. And yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, I think it's key, man. It's awesome. Great point. Sean said a 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out Boxo's Instagram, but they have a 10 millimeter superset, which is like every single 10 millimeter they makes 6 point, 12 point, quarter inch, 3/8, half inch, driver, wrench, the whole deal. It's like 8 or 10 of them.
I did see that.
It's a must have. Lucas says, "You Tim, it's a good kid, makes him feel old now." Lucas, you are old. That's all there is to it. Period. All right. I actually want you to do the question. Yeah, do it. Why not? What the hell? Let's have some fun. Let's watch Tim squirm more than he already is.
I'm gonna pull the question up in front of the camera too, so everyone can see that.
All right.
Have you read those yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
You want to shuffle them or you redo it? All right.
How
No camera. Nobody can
unnecessary
see
is
it. Switch it. This is just fun. We had to try these out. So.
All right. So the question is, what is your favorite body part about yourself?
Oh Lord.
Let's get it going.
I don't ever think about the least one. I think I'm
Holy shit.
Here we go.
What?
Well,
Your favorite body part
the problem
about
we
yourself.
I don't think I can even say I
Put the
have
camera
one.
on that one.
I am the most non-conceited person.
Oh,
To be
God.
honest, I spend more time, worried about myself than I do anything, hence why you don't ever see me on camera half the time.
Got a face for radio, buddy.
I know. There you go. I don't think I
Oh,
can really
man.
say I have a
The
favorite
thing is,
body
I
part.
want to say, I'm dying over here because
All right, Corey.
No, man, I can't because I don't want to get fired.
Yeah,
I'll be
don't
straight
do
up
it.
because
Whoa.
there's certain things that just got to be better left unsaid. And anyways, we have to move on.
Why are you both turning red?
You don't wanna know.
This is the part of the show, man, that makes it worthwhile because that's the shit you never. No, it's definitely not that. No, it's not. Not that I verify this or anything, but I'm just saying.
This is
Next
getting
question.
awkward. Let's go to the next
All
question.
right. That was so these pod decks are terrible, man. Let's get them out of here. God dang it, dude. What is the? Oh God, what is that?
What's the favorite thing you've bought this year?
Ooh.
Okay, that your wife knows about or doesn't know about?
Oh no, she knows.
Does she know about the PS5 that you have in the truck right now?
She knows better than that. She knows it's going to be a race car part or something. Favorite thing I bought? God, there's just so much that has happened this year. I got to think about it.
It must not be that good.
How about you, Corey?
Favorite thing I bought?
Yeah, favorite thing you bought. Well, he thinks.
Oh, dang, dude. Well, I'm having a lot of. Does it have to be mine? Because the EMPI bus that we bought was pretty damn cool, and I've enjoyed that this year. It's not mine. It's pretty cool. For me, dude. Honestly, it's just been it's been the race car fun, man. It's been fun to meet some new friends, to make some new friends, and kind of grow an extended family from it. It's been a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and I've enjoyed every second of it. I think for me, the solidification of that is not even a word.
I'll accept it.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Shout out to Alex. It's just when I strapped my daughter in at the last test session and put the helmet on her and put the air tank in her and let her communicate with me and do a little hot lap with my little girl was freaking awesome, dude. And she's pointing her little hand. It can barely see over the windshield, and she was navigating like her heart depended on it, and it was awesome. So for me,
sure she was telling you how to drive too.
oh yeah, another occurrence in my life. But no, man, that to me, that solidified it just to that we were in the right place in the right time of my life. And that was good, man. And that really, it was the sentimental side of me, man, touches me every once in a while.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, I'm kind of on the same line is I've just kind of invested into myself this year. That's kind of what it's been all about. I have a 7-year-old, 2-year-old, and a 6-month-old now. It's time to buckle down and figure out what I'm doing. So that's really been the most accomplishing thing that I necessarily haven't had to buy with money, but it's a way of life I've had to start taking serious.
Three boys, man.
Yeah.
Michelle said the dimples. Lucas is
Lord.
you're getting
My mom.
Mom's chiming in. You got some nice dimples. Lucas says the bald head, and of course Kaylee doesn't miss with the missing eyebrows. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, someone finally said it. I was gonna bring it up too.
Really? Damn, you guys are brutal, man.
Say Lucas in person, they're like slightly brown, and then they're gone.
Yeah, fade me or Lucas.
You.
Come on, man. They're bushy though. They're like legit. They're just blonde.
The never-ending joke on EMPI Insider.
I can't stand that, man. Like still. Jason said a belt sander apparently.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, but no, man, and it's been fun. It's been a hell of an experience. We really hope you guys kind of it's infectious. It's fun. We joking all set aside, but I'll tell you right now, dude, I wouldn't trade where we're going with this squad for anything. Weed out things, we work through things, overcome stuff. And dude, where we're going and what we have planned for the future is going to be pretty badass.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. We have great things coming up, and we'll get them done.
Over under, who finishes in front of who? You in front of Wilkie or Wilkie in front of you at Rage at the River?
He was on his A game at Prim.
The bastard was flying, son of a gun.
I mean, I realize like everybody has their excuses, and I'm not going to use this as an excuse, but I looked at my second and third lap time, and I was, 10, 12 seconds off, his lap times. I'm like, and I honestly didn't feel like I was overdriving the car. Once I got with Cisco, I'm like, there's no reason to even start overdriving this thing, but I think I'm going for it at Rage.
Oh boy,
I'm tired of it.
No Pistol Pete bullshit though,
I
right? No Bottle Rocket Pete.
No.
All right,
and I feel comfortable there. I like Laughlin.
Yeah,
just gotta be careful to drop off.
Oh God,
you seen pictures, right?
I don't think so. I probably tried to miss those for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, my new Kings are on, so we're ready to rock and roll. Man, what? Couple of things we'll wrap up, and again, I hope you guys don't mind us kind of bantering, watching us hang out and shoot the shit and tell lies and tell stories. But who would be your like favorite driver or most influential besides the kind of the family lineage to it all? But who would be like your guy that you've always admired or watched like growing up that was at the top tier, or anywhere really?
Definitely Rob McCachran.
Yeah.
Obviously, most people know his history. It's like that was a guy that got in any car and drove it to its full potential and actually won. Anybody can go out there and destroy a car, beating everybody and not finish. But to meticulously drive a car to a point to where the finishing rate is where it needs to be and the race wins come along with that, that's what you want to aspire to be for sure.
It's so interesting you say that because there's I've asked Corey McClinathan about that. I've asked multiple people in motorsports about, racers and that dude is the one that is probably the number one and common denominator out of all of it, because it doesn't matter what he got in to drive, that he is just the man, period. I mean, Lucas just said it right now. Rob Mack is the man.
Yeah.
And I mean, the VW ties to it all too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what he did before 1-2-1600, but that was definitely a very successful class he drove in, Volkswagen powered, and the rules were even a little different back when he started too,
Even Ron Fleming talked about him and said, I want his horsepower, and like you got the same motor he does. You know what he doesn't have, and what you don't have that he does is talent.
Yeah, and I've heard, so I can't tell you how many times I've heard that of people who have raced against him in the past. Oh, I don't know how he did it. He was cheating. He was this. He was that. But I don't believe there was any cheating going on. The man can just drive.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. It's just common deal. And he said he's super humble and not cocky, huh, Jason? That's a great point. I mean, that's what a true champion really is someone grounded and humbled and ready to go.
Yeah, and I have actually found myself on the opposite side of that, Where like when I think future wise, like I get just as much gratification out of building these cars as I do driving them. So it's like, to me, it's not all about going to the race and winning, which, don't get me wrong, when we show up, we're there to win, but I also get the same amount of gratification just from finishing that car, no matter what it is, building the whole car or just building the engine for it. That's what gets me excited too.
So as a fabricator side, does it over or outweigh the engine building side of stuff? So when you finish kind of a car and it's chassis and the car's kind of rolls out, and you feel more accomplished or do you feel the first time you feel more accomplished with the motor firing up, like on a dyno for the first fire or something?
I would say the engine side of things.
Really?
Hearing that horsepower. And I still have so much more to go. We've obviously been building race engines.
Those 50 horsepower turds.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's something we have figured out. But these class 11 engines are a very minuscule amount of engine builds compared to what else we can do in the Volkswagen world, and I'm still doing other things, square back motors. I've done a few of those, regular bug motors, stuff like that. But I'm just itching to get that turbo build, or to get that brain fart right now, supercharged build. I'm just itching for it all.
Yeah, just something different.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another reason I think you need to explain, is that you're not pigeonholing yourself here into just one area. You guys do build streetcar stuff. Do you want to build I think you said a wing killer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But a real street car to go out and have some fun. But just you get so caught up in the racing, and it does take it sucks the life out of you to a point. So, but I want to make sure that these are, our listeners, when they do need something, or need even general maintenance on a car, or a master cylinder done or whatever, if they're not comfortable doing it themselves, that they can reach out and contact you, and work on that, whether it's valve adjustment and maintenance, or they want electronic ignition, or whatever it may be, that they can do that.
Wild.
Yep. As cliche as that may be, it does fall into that realm. Yes. Right. But no, guys, it's been awesome to see all the comments. People want to hang, see what you're doing, what you're working on, what we're doing here. It's really cool, man. And we thank you for that. But what's the best way for people to get in contact with Tim and Sletten Engineering?
Instagram and Facebook, Sletten Engineering.
It's both of them tags the same?
Yes.
Phone number?
760-895-8220.
There you go. Nice, simple, and easy. Sletten Engineering. Timmy, the Superman Sletten.
Yeah,
and we'll hope you guys enjoy just kind of, hanging out, man, on a Tuesday, spending an afternoon together. Kind of want to dim the lights and have some whiskey and cocktails and a cigar one of these days, just to be able to hang out and get a different vibe. I know Eddie's been lobbying for it with us. There's here
no time
with HR. But yeah, keep those things coming, guys. Keep the comments coming. Keep the DMs flowing at the EMPI Insider Instagram. We're going to start releasing some more footage. We're going to release a visit to Magnus Walker's compound again. Right, Jess? We got that video almost ready to go. Nice little short video clip for you guys. We're just going to keep putting more content up. We're going to be doing some more installation videos on some of the carb kits we've got, and some of the other items. And that's pretty much covers us for the day, guys. So we appreciate it. So if you guys want to see something tonight we're working on the chassis again on the car. We'll be disassembling some beams. Just
there's a lot of
stuff to get done. Basically right now we're going right downstairs to get to work. So Lucas Hand, if you're in the area, like you said, come on by. No flip-flops allowed though. And we'll see you then. But as always, guys, Timmy, thank you so much for coming and hang out with us. It was really cool for them people to kind of put a little story behind the face that's on the camera. And expectations for EMPI Racing Team 2020 and going into 21, what would you tell people? Put you right on the spot, Doug. I was
going to say, no, I mean, there's a ton of progression going on in the way that these cars are going to be built, in the time we're putting in to hone our driving skills. I can see a bright future for sure if we just stay the course.
Awesome.
I see good things happening.
Appreciate it. And again, I don't always get to publicly thank you enough, but I truly do mean it. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. The late nights, the countless phone calls, the worrying that we do, and the stress that I add to your life. I appreciate all of it. You take it with a smile, you take it on the chin, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So from me to you, thank you very much for everything you've done.
That means a lot, and thank you too.
Appreciate it
all.
Glad to have you as part of the squad, brother. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in each week. I hope you enjoyed hanging out, doing the stuff that we do here. Just talking everything V-dubs, whether it's cruising the double cab to lunch and tacos or working downstairs in the race shop. So we love every bit of it. Stay tuned. We're going to do some live testing this week. We're taking the cars out. We're meeting up with Wildman Wilkie. Hopefully we can get it done by Thursday or Friday. We might be without Wilkie if he doesn't get back from Louisiana in time. But we're going to do some testing. And the Negrete boys are going to come out with us. We got a few other key specials. And see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're out of here. See ya.